Hello, y'all. Happy Saturday. Let's see. Hey, hey, hey. Let's see. Mm-mm. Mm. All right, there we go. Happy Saturday. What's going on?
What's up? What's up?
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Cold, but I'm good.
It's cold up there?
Oh my gosh. Like maybe it's just me because I'm always cold, but like, yeah, it's probably, I think when I was out, it was like 40 something degrees. So that's cold enough
That's
for me.
not, ma'am. That's not. Hey, you in Maryland, right?
Yeah, Baltimore.
No, no. Negative is when it gets to that point. But
Well, a couple weeks ago, it was literally like 4 degrees. And then the weather has been like going up and down, up and down. It was like almost like 50 something the other day. Crazy.
mm, well, yeah, North Carolina, we bipolar with our temperatures, so you just
Down
never
south. Hey, Shantae. I'm about to come down North Kakalaki.
you need to have a reason for you coming out here in these trenches, man.
I got a reason.
What's the reason? Oh, never mind. That's your business.
No,
That's your
no,
business.
no, no, no. It's not like that. It's not like that. I just want like a fresh start. I don't know. My sister down there though.
Okay. It's
Yeah.
it's enough country to go around down here.
Yeah. But thank you for joining me today, sir.
Yes, ma'am. You're
You
welcome.
said come to Cali, Shantae. Listen, if you can
Mm,
find me somewhere reasonable to live,
I
okay,
would
Cali.
not move there. I would not move there. Uh, to me, it's too much smog. Too
Mm.
much. I mean, I can eat an edible for not worry about nothing. But yeah,
I would
but
definitely go to Cali though. If I can find somewhere reasonable, because I've done seen
what's
prices.
reasonable though?
She said nothing is reasonable. Don't do it.
There you go.
I don't know because like I've seen like their one bedrooms and places are
About
like
3,000.
17, 18, 20 to 2,500 and more. It's like that's crazy. That's crazy. But I mean, hey, if you can rock that,
Yeah, more power
more
to
power.
you.
All right, I'll let people just trickle and share this out if you can. Thank you for joining me today again, Shantae. Thank you. So this conversation is going to be about mental health and Black men. And I want to introduce my guest today, my guest of honor, Mr. Antonio Wright. He is also the founder and CEO of the Wright Mentality and Wright Mentality podcast. How are you doing today, sir?
I am doing pretty good. Thank you for having me, ma'am. Thank you.
Oh, sure, not a problem. You are the best person for this. One of the best people, I feel like,
Thank
to discuss this. We've had this discussion before, but I do it again, and it's
you.
okay. I kind of want to do this like the same way I kind of do like my podcast stuff. Start with the whole mental health check on a scale of like 1 to 5. Just rate your mental health, how you're feeling today. 5 being, you're feeling good. 1 being like, I'm not feeling the best. Need some room for pouring, but I'm okay. So on a scale of 1 to 5, how would you rate your mental health?
I'm gonna put it at a 5. We good.
Yes, okay,
We good.
5.
Yes.
We fiving it out. I'm gonna say I'm a 5. I've been fiving it out for a couple weeks now.
Hey, fives all the way round. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes. And that's important. Conversation today is focused on mental health. So I think it's always good to take those time to check in with yourself, have that internal dialogue, see how you feeling. If you feel some discomfort, try to get down to the bottom of it. And not only take time to check in on yourself, if you have some extra space for pouring, definitely take time to check in on, other people, because We all got something going on. And what's that saying? I don't really like it, but check on your strong friends and your strong family. Don't wait for the moments where it's like the woulda, coulda, shouldas, but you didn't.
Yeah.
So definitely do that. What's up, sis? All right. So I introduced you, Mr. Antonio. So can you give us a brief introduction of who Mr. Antonio Wright is?
Well, Mr. Wright, like she said, owner and operator of the Wright Mentality podcast. I am a dad, a therapist, a friend, a son, a cook. We got a lot of hats, but for the most part, I am a human being. So I work pretty much now with children in the mental health field, working with troubled youth and their families. Trying to bridge this gap that we have out here with these children to, so to say, bring them back from where they are now. Um, a lot of kids don't have a male role model in their lives. So, it's my job to step in and do what I can to help them. We're working on a mentorship business. We working on a mentorship business. But yeah, I'm a workoutaholic. Work out 5-6 times a week.
Mm-hmm.
Competitions coming up. Keep y'all posted. But yes, that is who I
am. Okay. And I think it's very important to also add, you said you're a dad, but you are a girl dad. I think that's a big deal.
am. I am.
So shout out to you for that, because it seems like you're very active and you're doing a good job. So it's important that any male or female have that male authority and role model. So keep doing the amazing job you're doing, because I see y'all be going to get your nails and pedicures and stuff done.
Absolutely, you gotta
Those
do
things
that.
definitely do matter, and I'm pretty sure she appreciates it now and will appreciate it when she gets older.
Definitely.
So you talked about the fact that you work with troubled youth. So how was your childhood growing up? Like, would you say that you were on a troubled youth side, or were you just trying to like explore, figure out who Antonio was when you were a kid?
When I was a kid, I didn't know who I was, honestly. I couldn't tell left from right. I did not know what to do, what not to do. And I was lost. So growing up in the hood, I grew up in every hood in my hometown, Durham, North Carolina. Moved around a lot. And my dad wasn't really there. So he was in and out, but it wasn't like I could wake up and be like, "Hey, Dad, I got a bad dream. I need to talk to you." So in a sense, it was like working with the children that I work with today. I have been in their shoes. I know what it's like. I walk the same paths that they walk. Some of them are a little bit thicker than mine, but it's just knowing that you're not alone in this. You're not the only person that has gone through what you're going through right now. And I say person because I don't want to relate to the kids as a kid, because some of the stuff that they've been through, grown people have been through. And it shouldn't be like that, but children don't ask to be here, and it's just a matter of what can I do to support you in what you're going through, because like I said, I've been through it. I know what you're going through. I can feel it. I can empathize with you. I can sympathize with you, but at the same time, I'm a person just like you are.
Right. And I think it is big that you said that you don't acknowledge them as kids, but as people, because a lot of times, like I used to work at a psych hospital, and my unit was on the child and adolescent line, and having those one-on-one conversations with the kids, because that's what we had to greet them by as kids. You realize the more conversation you had, a lot of them just want to be humanized. Like they want you to acknowledge that, like, hey, I'm going through something. Like I have true feelings, and even though I may be this age, like a teenager or sometimes younger, my feelings should matter. They just want those things validated.
Exactly.
Now, as a kid, I know you said like your dad wasn't really in the picture. Did you experience like any traumatic experiences or any adversities growing up?
Yeah. Um, quite a lot, but we still here to tell that story. So, him not really being there, it was I couldn't really tell in a sense because growing up, my mom was always there, so she will always like, oh, he'll be back later, or he'll be back next week. He had to go to work, so it was, of course, it was always an excuse as to why he wasn't home. But growing up, I would say the most traumatic experience too, actually, I've had. Um, Mama, if you listening, you listening. But one was, I remember some guys breaking in our house in the middle of the night, and they were looking for my dad um, for drugs, money, whatever it could be, and he wasn't there. So my mom was like, she just came and hovered over me and my older sister and just told them, take whatever you want, take whatever you need. We here. It's just me and my kids. Whoever you're looking for, they're not here. That was one because I don't know how, I don't know why, but I remember that. Secondly was I remember our house burning down. My dad came home. He was under the influence and he fell asleep while he was smoking, and the house caught on fire. So to this day, I have about 2 or 3 baby pictures. So I don't have anything to like really look back on as a kid. And I mean, it was just, in a sense, it was what it was. I lived through it. We talked about it. I talked about it. And I would say the sad part is my family sweeps things under the rug. So as a black man today, could I still say I would want the conversation with my mom or my dad that I wanted to have when I was 5 or 6? Yeah, but it's okay, baby. Don't worry. That was a long time ago. Don't worry about it. And that's typically what happens today.
Dang. Well, thank you for being so authentic and vulnerable enough to speak on that. I sympathize with you. Um, and I think it's good that you say you have been able to, at least talk about it to someone. And I'm glad that you even aimed in on the fact that you still would like to have those conversations with your parents. And I don't think people realize that a lot of times, if you come from a Black household, like you said, a lot of things are swept under the rug. But not only that, the prominent saying, what happens in this house stays in this house. And
Yeah.
even with like things happening in the house with us as a family, we still can't talk about it with one another.
Yeah.
And it don't matter. And I was just talking to my best friend today, shout out to you, Jess, about sometimes as old as we get, we still want our parents. It don't matter the dynamics, or
Yes.
the relationship may have been like bad, but in some type of way we want to just confide in them. Hey, I don't need you to respond, but I need you to just hear me out. You know
That's
what I'm saying?
that's
Like,
that's all I want. And I even had that happen, was it a year or so ago. It was my first weightlifting competition that I had, and I called. I was excited. I was like, okay, I'm about to do this. I called my dad, and I was like, hey, I got a fitness competition. I want you to be there. Boom, boom. You got to worry about driving. I'll come get you and all of that. Oh, I got to go to work. I said, okay, don't worry about it. As soon as I got off the phone, the girl I was dating at that time, I instantly called her. I was extremely upset. And she was like, why? She was like, I told her, I said, because, is it okay if I curse?
go ahead.
Okay. I said, he ain't been to shit when I was a kid. I wrestled, I played football and all that. You came to one game, and I want you to be here for it. Like, it's not every day that you get to see your kids do something phenomenal. And I know I can lift heavy shit. come watch me. But you told me you gotta work. I understand. We all gotta work. Completely understand. But it was, to me, him working is not really working, and I know what it is. So I said, all right, whatever. So she said, well, why don't you call him back and tell him how you feel? I said he probably ain't gonna, really hear what I'm saying. Uh, so I called my mom and I told her, and 31 years old, I started crying. And it was like, why am I feeling like this? So I called her. She said, we'll call him on three-way. So I called him on three-way. I was upset. I was really mad. I was like, you've never seen me do anything. And the older I get, the older you get, you still don't see me do anything unless it's on Facebook. Why can't you be here? Like, why am I still that 5-year-old kid looking for his daddy in the living room when I wake up in the morning? Why am I still searching for you and you're still not here?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm gonna come. Don't come because I'm asking you to. Come because you want to. Come because you want to support your son and see him do things. I mean, Lord forbid, lift your weights. It's nothing, but it's something to me, and that's all.
Yeah, that's that. And what was his response like when you had that conversation with him the second time?
He apologized. He apologized, and he was like, I didn't really know this really meant that much to you, and I'll be there for you. So he came.
That's good.
Yeah, and I mean, it was like I said, just understanding my own feelings because I wasn't going to say anything to him.
Mm-hmm.
I was just going to leave it alone and let it go because in my mind, it's like, fuck it. You don't care, why should I?
Right.
So I left it alone.
Now, was emotional expression something that was encouraged in your household growing up? Like even no?
No. I mean, I would see my mom cry about certain things, but when it came to me, or my only time we cried was when we got a whooping. But it's okay to cry. It's okay to express emotions. What is that? Who said that was okay?
Mm-hmm.
Don't know.
Yeah. Do you feel like that resonates with me so much in so many ways? Do you feel like because of that, as you got older, you became more numb to a lot of things?
In a sense, yes, but also no.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to displaying emotions, feelings, and all of that stuff, crazy enough, but I learned most of that watching movies and TV, not being taught in home, but I watched it. Um, so a man courting a woman, opening the door, saying, not letting her walk on the side of the street, all of that stuff. I learned that watching movies. So to understand what that means inside your household as a kid, it was like a foreign language to me. So when I step out here in the world, and the older I got, if I cried, I would go in the bathroom or I would hide in a closet or something like that because I didn't know if it was okay to cry. I didn't know if it was, normal to express these emotions because if I cry, it's like you about to see snot and all of that.
Right.
Like, yeah, but I would hide because I didn't know, for one, if I as a boy could do that, or two, if it was okay.
So you felt like as a boy, it would look upon you of being weak in some type of way,
In a sense, yeah,
like
I
because
felt
boys
like
can't cry, right?
exactly. So I felt like they would call me, if I cried at school or something, I felt like they would probably call me a girl or a sissy or a punk. Like, what you crying for? And I always had my older sister there in school. So if I did get upset and started crying and the kids would pick on me, I would just go grab her. So she was like dad. Um, and yeah, it was like she would say, go ahead, let it out. It's like, but still Like, nah, because now you telling me to let it out as a girl, then I'm going to definitely look like a girl.
Yeah.
But I didn't know any better. So,
That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. We got a comment in the chat. It says it's never it's never too late to change those patterns. People get stuck in that this is always how it's been mindset and think there's no reason to change. I'm happy you were able to confront your dad. Yeah, that's big because even a lot of adults cannot confront someone that hurt them, but
yeah,
like a parent,
exactly.
a parent,
I don't like that, though. Like, that to me blows my mind that we as adults deflect so much, man or woman, um, people in general. I'm sorry,
I
I gotta
know.
make sure, I gotta make
I
sure,
know.
but people in general, um, we deflect or we like you said, sweep it under the rug or whatever. Like it's so like, nah, I don't want to hurt their feelings. Sometimes you need to hurt people's feelings to let them know exactly how you feel. Because if you don't, you're gonna hold and harbor onto that pain to the day you die or to the day they die. And if they die before you didn't get a chance to tell them exactly how you felt. So now you gotta hold on to that to the day you die.
And that's a lot. Like
Yeah.
I want to get into that a little bit down the road as far as like holding on to that trauma and that
Mm-hmm.
pain and all that stuff, like the psychological and physical damage that it can do to people. And I don't
Exactly.
think if you don't know, I have a true understanding of the effects of it, you never can appropriately address it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Exactly.
even for me, I've dealt for years without saying things to people, even my mom, because my dad, he's where he is, whatever. And just people in general holding all that stuff in, it's just like it deteriorates your body, your well-being, your
Yes.
mental health. Like, and it doesn't, to me, it doesn't make me responsive because I feel like if you do this with one person, you're going to continue to make this cycle and
Yeah.
do it with other people that come into play, and you're just going to be a magnet for hurt and neglect and all these other toxic type of characteristics. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I appreciate you for again telling that your story, and having the courage to confront your dad. And I'm glad your mom even held space for you and supported you through that time.
Yeah.
You know, and something you didn't speak on, but I want to bring it up, hoping that you just go with the flow of it.
Okay.
Because I know that you worked in corrections, and I like to talk about this.
Yeah.
I like to talk about this. Before we get into that, thank you everyone that's joining us for this conversation of Black men and mental health with me and Mr. Antonio Wright. Thank you for y'all taking the time out your day for be with us and be interactive in the chat. We greatly appreciate it because this is a conversation that needs to happen more. But we're going to start here. So what made you go into corrections?
Um, 100% honesty, money, real talk, money. At the time, I was a EMT, riding around on the ambulances, helping people, saving lives, doing all of that. And we went to the prison one day, and we had to pick up an inmate to take him to an appointment. And I'm just looking at the uniform, and I'm like, yo, how much y'all make doing this? It was like, we make, salary, a decent amount of money or whatever. I said, well, it's more than what I'm making. So let me hop on. So I hopped on the bandwagon. I started doing it. I had no plan because I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just knew I needed to make more money than what I was making. Um, so becoming a correctional officer and actually staying there, whew, uh, that ain't for the weak. I tell you, like that is not for the weak. It ain't no Rikers Island, but it's a prison.
Now I
And
know we had that conversation before about Rikers Island after those photos were released on the
yeah,
internet about the toxic environments of the inmates.
it's the inmates, it's the guards, it's the administration, it's the warden, it's everybody. Um, and those are the stories that they gonna tell. It's like being an FBI agent and you trying to figure out what they hiding. They're not gonna tell you.
Right.
But it's stories and stuff that I've seen in there that nobody should experience. And being a correctional officer for almost 5 years, men getting stabbed, men having sex with men, uh, it's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah.
Now, what do you think that having that type of position impacted your mental health in any type of way?
Um, it showed me what not to be.
Mm-hmm.
It showed me how terrible the justice system is. Men getting locked up for 4 or 5 years for having a bag of weed. Uh, it just showed me what type of father I did not want to become. My dad went to jail, and in all honesty, the mental health portion of it was when you walk through that door, your soul leaves your body and says, "I'm gonna wait for you until you get out. I'm not going in there with you. You can have that time, brother, ma'am, whoever. I'm not going in there. It is a place. I was an officer, but I was also a resident. I was actually not a resident. I was a guest in their home. That's where they live. So me going into their house, you got to respect them because it takes the smallest thing for them to walk up to you and stab you in your eye and say, "Oops." So I'm always constantly looking over my shoulder. Am I gonna go home in the morning? Am I gonna go home tonight? Um, the stress, the toxic environment of being around the inmates, hearing the stories of the things that they have done. Yeah, yeah.
I can only imagine.
Mm.
Like, I never worked in the prison. My mom did, and I thought that that's what I wanted to do. Like, I tried, like, you do the application, you sign up to do the test. I did that for the corrections here in Baltimore. I did it for the Capitol Police, the FBI, because I went to school doing criminal justice. Like, I was like, you know what,
Okay.
this is, I
That's
think,
that's what we supposed to do. Yeah.
yeah, they told me I gotta go and work in my field,
Exactly.
even though I had premeditated thoughts about going to law school and doing other stuff. And then, you remember did y'all have Take Child to Work Day down there?
Who?
Take Child to Work
Oh
Day?
no.
Okay,
Not that
so
I know of. No.
back in the day, we had this thing called Take Child to Work Day, where the parents could bring your kids to work with them. And then, my mom worked in corrections in the jail for a while. So I went up there. Listen, some of those images, yes. So at the time, it was, the jail was split, where the county that she worked in, it was a men's side, it was a women's side, and I spent a lot of time on the men's side. That's where she was, and then they took us to.
So weird.
They took us to the women in the back of the paddy wagon. Like, they gave us the whole experience. And at that point, I was like, I will never get in trouble ever in my life because I don't want to ever end up here. But some of the visuals that I got to see, as, like you said, a guest in their home,
Yeah.
I will never forget. And we got to talk to them because there are certain ones you can actually be up close on. It not as restricted as the ones that's like behind the glass. Like, don't even look their way.
Yeah.
And some of the things that some of the women, even men, told us about, like, the treatment and different things. And then at the time, the women that were pregnant were held in the basement. And what the basement looks like. It was just a lot. So I couldn't imagine years of working in that type of environment and not leaving with some type of mental and friction on my brain. You know what I'm saying?
I'm telling you.
So what made you take the switch from being in corrections to say, I want to go and do mental health?
So it was a day I was at work as a CO, and inmate was telling me this story, going through something with his girlfriend or whatever. And, I told him, I said, yo, me, positive advice, all it is, and it'll get better, lottie-dottie. He said, yo, right. Go tell that shit to a kid, because that ain't helping me, brother. So I'm just trying to, be positive and all. He said, I get that, appreciate it, but go get that shit to a kid. I got 25. Not getting out no time soon. Positivity ain't gonna work for me. So that hit me and was like, maybe I do need to help kids, because us as adults are thick-headed. And once we get in our ways, we stuck in our ways. We don't want to change for nobody, unless it's somebody that makes you change, or you want to change within yourself. But then I switched and I started working with kids and understanding that children get so many slaps on the wrist before they get locked up. And then when you get in there and you see, oh, these just some badass kids. That's not even the case. It's not that they're bad. It's the environment that they had to grow up in because of the parents didn't want to be parents. Or, you want to bring certain people into the household and they do certain things to the children. And when you read now, being in the facility didn't do nothing to me. Reading the stories tore my head up. Hearing and seeing the words on a piece of paper about your mama letting another man come in the house and raping you, or your daddy beating you till you pass out, or your uncle. It just trickled. And it's like, yo, this is why you in here. But let me help you. Nah, fuck you, Mr. Wright. You ain't do. I'm not your enemy. So listening to that, hearing the stories, I had a partner at the detention center when I first got there, and he told me, I'm getting my master's in mental health. I want to be a therapist because it's more I can do for these kids with therapy than what we're doing as detention officers. Okay. I said, well, I know I want to help kids, and I want to help them on a deeper level than seeing them behind the wall, because once they leave this building, I can't talk to them anymore. So I said, it's something else that I have to do. It's something else deeper that I have to give back to these kids. And I got goosebumps right now. But when they see me come in the room in their house or their school, and I say, hey, how you doing? I'm your therapist. You, you, a black man is my therapist? Yes. This is strange. Okay. Some get excited, some get happy, some get sad, because it's a mixture of emotions from going from the norm to the abnormal. I'm abnormal to be a therapist. I'm abnormal going to school, getting a master's in mental health counseling. This is a woman's job, sir. You doing woman work, sir. No. I'm doing what I'm called to do, which is helping those that need my help and doing everything that I can while I'm here. So seeing what I saw, not as a CO, but seeing what I saw as a detention officer, made me come into this field of mental health.
That's a very impactful story. And from the child's point of view, again, I mean this in the best way possible. They're probably used to seeing a Caucasian woman come in the room and say, hey, I'm your therapist, or I'm your social worker, and them not understand on a deeper level what that child is going through. So to see you is like, okay, this is not normal. But at least when they get in there, they're like, okay, he gets me. He gets my experiences. He gets my trauma. He empathizes with everything that I've been through. I'm safe. For probably the first time ever in their life, they're safe.
Exactly.
And how does that make you feel? Because you went through your own traumatic experiences growing up. You didn't have the opportunity to really express those emotions and feelings openly, you know? How does it feel now that you're in a position that you can educate and help people like younger boys and girls? You are boys and girls, right?
Mhm.
Boys and girls that need the support.
It feels good. It really does. It allows me to know that this eight 8 years of school was worth something more than just a piece of paper. Understanding that I have something to give back. We always say, I want to give back or I want to help, do stuff. But I can actually see it, and the compliments and the work that I get back from these parents and saying, I wish we had more people like him, or he's doing a great job, and like I wish he was here a long time ago. It's like, yo, I'm really doing this. And it's like, I needed this when I was a kid. I needed somebody to come in the room and sit down and talk to me and say, look, man, cry.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for me, even today, I still do not cry unless I'm in the gym. And the reason I cry in the gym is because I sweat really hard and you'll never know. So I let it out. And it's like, when is it an ample opportunity to let your emotions flow? When is it a time that you can actually release what needs to be released? Nobody knows. So I give these children room to actually let it out. So when I sit in a room and I tell them like let it out, and they start crying, I'm not watching your reaction to respond. I'm watching your reaction to let you know it's okay. Like, this is a safe space. Let it out. If something you want to tell me. If not, I'm not gonna force it out of you. But eventually it's gonna come out because you're gonna get so comfortable with me that it's gonna be like, damn,
Mm-hmm.
it's my brother. This I look up to you. I had one kid tell me I about cried that day. He said, Mr. Wright, I just want to let you know, appreciate you for being here, and I look up to you like a dad. I said, you're gonna get the fuck away from me. I'm not about to do this right now. I'm at work. We not about to do this. He's talking about, nah, just like I look up to you like a father, like you here for me, you come to work, even when you don't want to. I get mad and you still come. Like, and the day that I quit working there, not the girls, but the boys cried. Every last one of them was like, let me go to my room. I said, it's my last day, man. You ain't gonna stay out here with me. Nah, I gotta go to my room, bro. I gotta. I'm like, what? It hurt. It hurt. And it's like, they're so used to people leaving that me leaving was another chapter in their book that they had to rip out that they thought that they could keep there forever.
Because it's a trauma effect, right? It's like a revolving door. If they come from a household where they have, I cannot think of the word to save my life. Um, they're used to people going in and out of their lives, and then they get, unfortunately, in a facility type of environment where they have to get adjusted to the staff or the therapists or counselors,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yep.
They built this good rapport. You created this safe environment. Now it's like, oh no, you're leaving. I got to do this all over again. I got to continue telling someone else my story. Maybe they're
Yep.
not going to understand. Maybe they're not going to get me. Abandonment issues. Thank
Yeah.
you.
What it is.
Thank you.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Thank you. Abandonment issues, and then, that is a hard cycle to change, even as an adult.
Yeah.
We realize, like, why do I have this attachment to this person? Why is it so hard for me to let go of this person and move on? And then you think about it. What happened as a kid that made you feel like, you know, you can't release certain relationships and entities from your life? Oh, well, I was abandoned by my dad, or whatever the case is. So I definitely understand. I worked in group homes, and like I said, I worked at the psych hospital, and my friend is in the chat. She worked there with me as well on those units. And even those at the psych hospital, it's supposed to be limited stay for inpatient. But you sometimes you get the kids that be there for a couple of weeks and months and some years, unfortunately, depending on what goes on. But being in the group home facility, those were like more long term. Yeah. And you saw I've experienced the same thing, even if it was just a shift. And I'm like, okay, is this real feelings and emotions? Sometimes you have to question, like, is this real? But you get them babies one-on-one and have those conversations. All they want to do is just really be heard. And the only way they know to be heard and seen is to do what? Act out, self-harm.
Every time.
Because think about you when you were younger and you were having all those emotions and you held all that stuff in. What did you do to release? You probably acted out.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. So it makes so much sense.
And I wish they didn't have to do that. So my job, giving them certain coping skills or giving them an outlet or getting associated with other kids that they can relate to, or support groups that they can engage in, those type of things. Because once children get around other children that see like I'm not alone, that's when they change. That's when they see like, oh, you went through some of the same stuff that I went through. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like, because it's not always that children can relate to adults, but they can relate to other children. So, but also hearing the positivity of that child telling another child, like, yeah, when I came in, I acted just like you. Yeah. I was mad, I was sad, I didn't know how to let stuff out. But working with Mr. Wright, he taught me how to release things. He showed me ways. Instead of fighting another kid, I can go in my room and punch my pillow. Like, just different ways to do different things. And you're going to act like this for a little bit. Mm-hmm. Like, let it out, because this is your time. Mm-hmm. But you're going to have to learn to release, let go, and change your ways. If not, you're going to be stuck in the same boat for the rest of your life into adulthood. I was like, God damn it. But did I do that?
But I think the big takeaway about all that is, as you get older, you realize how much more of a choice it is as an adult to do all of those things. Release, let go, and make the decision to do better, to live better, to make better decisions for yourself. As a kid, yes, you have a choice. However, kids need a little bit more guidance.
Yes.
And support. Structure. Yes, most definitely. So you said that, like, you're able now to give those kids that you work with, which you did not get growing up, which you would have probably really benefited from at that time. Now, as a Black man in America, do you feel like you are supported enough?
No, not at all. I feel like the person that pushes me is the person that I look at in the mirror every day. Off rip, I would not say your family is going to support you when you do better than they do. It's not in the sense that you're doing better than them, but you chose to do better than them. I'm the first person in my family to get a college degree, let alone 3 of them. So it's like, what do I have to do to be heard? Mm-hmm. Like, what do I need to do to feel like you're here? I'm sorry. Cookie want to get it on the show, everybody. Say hello, Cookie. But Yeah, so it was like, you know, trying to figure that stuff out. And it's like, yo, I'm gonna just do it myself. Like, if don't nobody else want to support me, I have to support myself. I have to tell myself every day that I gotta go out here and get it. But of course, you got some friends that's gonna push you, that's gonna make you like, yo, you got this. I got two main homeboys. Like, yo, get off your ass. I know it hurt. I know it sucked right now. But get off your ass and go do what you gotta do. And there are times that you do need that push because sometimes you can't push yourself. You can't support yourself. And to want to know why I don't have the support, I don't. I don't. I just rather wake up every morning by the grace of God, knowing that He's allowing me to get up another day. It's a reason He allows me to keep getting up. So I feel like, boom, that's the support right there. That's the reasoning why I keep getting up every morning, because He still has something more for me to do on this earth while I'm still here. So let me get up and go do what I need to do.
Yeah, most definitely. Because at the end of the day, you have to have something to live for, right?
Yes.
Something purposeful, something to look forward to, waking up every day, whether it's your career, your family. Overall, I always believe you have to have that feeling within yourself too. And I feel like in the height of everything that's going on now in the world, and has been going on since about COVID time, you know, because you've seen so much happen to Black men, I feel like that's a more of time for like people to come together or try to be more supportive. And a lot of times you hear Black men say, oh, I don't feel supported. Okay, and you just said that for yourself. So what is something that people should know that could help Black men feel supported, even including yourself in that? Like, how can you feel more supportive? What can we do?
Listen. Just listen. I actually got in a conversation engaged about that on Facebook a couple of weeks ago. It was a girl we went to school with. She made a straight comment. Question. So to say. She said, this is for the Black men. What do you need as a man from a woman? Every man in that chat said, listen to us. It's days where I want to come home and just talk my fucking head off about what I'm feeling, what I'm going through. Because as a man, we have so much that we have to do. We can't get on OnlyFans and post our feet and get money for that. We got to go build a building. We can't get online and do certain things. We can't just wake up and be like, oh, I'm about to be I'm about to be a stripper today. We can't do that stuff. I mean, some can, but you know, I'm just saying, majority, they're not programmed to think like that. Our minds are programmed, get up, go to work, fuck crying, come home, do it all over again the next day. But me as a man, like I said, I want you to listen. Don't listen to respond. Just let me vent. Let me say what I got. It's so much that I have to do in a day, in a week, in a month, in a year as a man. For one, let alone as a father, especially the way the system is. I gotta let it out right now. I'm gonna let you have it. As a man, as a father, this system strips the life out of me, because it got to the point where I got a call a few months ago from my social worker or case manager, whatever, from the child support office. I pay child support. Boom. I had lost my job while I was in school finishing my master's. 2 months in, I missed 2 payments. Well, hey, sir, I just want to let you know you're missing payments. I know I'm doing what I can to get you some money or whatever. Well, I just want to let you know you got 10 days or I'm going to issue a warrant for your arrest and we're going to come pick you up. What I'm going to do in jail? You still ain't going to get the money. Right. So, like, you're not help. Okay, so can you give me another month I can give you until the 26th, ma'am. That's still 10 days, and 3 of those days are the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
You're not helping me. So it's like, boom, you're ripping it out of me. And then, of course, you got the child support. You're ripping it out of me. I'm trying to be a dad and spend time with my daughter the way I'm supposed to, but my car broke down. You're ripping it out of me. It's like, when do I get to breathe and society pushes their foot on your neck and shoot you in your back and say, get up, it's okay, put a Band-Aid on it? It's like, when can I, as a man, get a time to breathe? And then you got financials. You got to make this certain amount of money for this type of woman to like you. You got to do this. You got to do that for me to like you. You got to be able to be here. You got to make 6 figures. You got to, well, you said I could curse, but your penis got to be this size for due to this. It's like, yo, what the fuck do I got to do? Like, no lie, I saw a post the other day on Facebook. A woman said, straight up, if a man eat breakfast, he a bitch.
What?
If a man eats breakfast, it's giving off bitch vibes.
Was she serious about that?
Dead ass serious. And the comments that was following was like, yeah, why do men eat breakfast? Men don't eat breakfast. They drink coffee and they keep it moving. So I'm a bitch if I eat eggs and grits in the morning because I'm hungry.
That is insane.
Like, yo, like, so then you get on these shows and these podcasts and these platforms, and then you redirect it to the woman, and it's like, oh no, you targeting us. Stop. But you coming for me. And it's like I said, just to take it back to the child support thing, if I make $1 more than what I'm making yesterday, today, oh, I'm taking you back to court. We getting an increase in that. I want 50 cents of that. Okay. All right. You know what? Just take my soul. How about that? So, yeah, that was my soapbox.
Okay. Let's dissect this a little bit. Okay. So I got you with the whole listening part. Like you know, I speak a lot about just being able to actively listen to learn, and not listen to critique and make judgment upon people. Like, that's not going to get you anywhere.
Exactly.
Guarantee you, more people listen, you will learn something about a person. You may not have the resources or tools to like fix, I hate the word fix, but fix their problem, but help take it away. But you could probably help them establish some type of solution, right?
Yeah.
I don't know nothing about the whole parental stuff. I'm sorry. I feel horrible for you.
It is what it is.
I've heard some horror stories about what they do and what they can do. Mm-hmm. I can't say that I don't agree that some people probably do deserve it. I don't think that's the case. But that is a very good example of how systematically fucked up things are. Because I think like it's like having a overall criteria for something, right? And you put that criteria on everybody, but everybody doesn't fall within those categories. You know, we make mistakes as humans overall.
Yeah.
You know, and like it's tough when you're dealing with the system and the law. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sorry you went through that. How were you able to get over all that? Like, what kept you going?
My homeboy, no lie. My homeboy Gary, shout out. He helped me. Because once it started out at, I mean, I don't really care, but it started out at like almost $600 a month for one child. And I was like, I only make this. Like, what am I going to do, ma'am? I don't know what to tell you, sir. You can call the mom and y'all can negotiate. That's okay, but what if she does? She said, then we snatch it. Okay. So I hit him up. He said, bro, tell you straight like this. Treat it like a bill. It's going to come out your check automatically. If you don't have to hand it to them, it don't hurt as bad. Okay. So they reduced it and it went down to like 500. All right, whatever. As soon as it started to come out, I didn't notice it. So he was like, leave it. Let it be. Boom, boom. You doing what you do. Be a great dad, and that's all that matters. Don't even worry about the money. He helped me through that because he went through it with his daughter's mother. And allowing me to see through him what he experienced, he told me, and it was word for word, this is what's going to happen. This is what they're going to do. This is how they're going to treat you. They don't care about you. They care about your money, and that's all that matters. They don't care how good of a father that you being. And what was crazy was when I got that call that day telling me that I'm going to jail because I haven't made a payment, my daughter was sitting at my house watching TV. And I said, ma'am, you making it seem like I'm not doing what I... Well, sir, child support is a bill. And if you don't pay that bill, you get locked up. So you rather lock up the good dads because we don't have the money to pay. So now, I can't remember the name of the show, but the show with all the women on it, was it Tamara Mowry or all of them on their show, Oprah and all of them. And they were discussing child support and how a woman should be allowed to use the child support card that I guess they're trying to come over with now. They should be allowed to use the child support card to do stuff for themselves. Child support is child support. This is for the child. But they feel as if, not all, but most of them felt as if the mom said, you know, it's been a long day, let me go get a drink with this card. It's been a long week, let me get my nails with this card. Us as a man, what can we say?
Right.
Nothing. All we know is that the money came out of our check and it's on that card. But if a man gets a child support card and we want to go, hey, fellas, weekend, let's go drinks on me. It's been a long week, child support card. Oh, you a bad daddy. You spending your money that we send you for the baby on drink? What's the, like, I'm not understanding the dip. Like, but we get criticized more so because we are the providers. And that's all we get looked at as a man that gives me money to do this, this, and this. Not everybody believes that, but that's just what I see. That's all I can speak on.
Now, do you feel that society or like the legal system for that matter make it hard for Black men to deal with their mental health? Because I feel like after enduring all of what you just talked about, your mental health probably wasn't in a good position, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
do you think that like society makes it more harder for y'all to address those issues when they come up?
Absolutely. Especially, like I said, for the good fathers, because you can be a great dad. I know I'm a great dad, and you could be doing everything that you need to do, and society will still look at you and say you're not doing enough. Okay, well, you know, I work 80 hours a week. I give 1,000 in child support for my one kid. I spend time with them as much as I can. We do stuff. We go places. Yeah, you're not doing enough, brother. You need to do more. You need to give more. You need to spend more time. Well, I mean, I work 80 hours a week. What more can I give? What more can I do? And society still looks at you and says it's not enough. So then you get placed in this bracket of deadbeat daddy. How? If I'm working, I'm giving you the support, I'm doing my best to spend as much time with you as I can, but it's not always, but it's the mom that's throwing it at the kid. Oh yeah, your daddy just sorry. He just, you know, I know he worked. He give us the money in this, or you know, you got family members throwing darts at you. You got work throwing darts at you. You got, you know, random ass people just throwing stuff at you, and it's like you reaching up out of the water, hoping somebody gonna pull you up, and all you can do is just get up high enough to the top of the peak of the water, and just every now and then, you just get dragged right back down. And it's like, yo, why? Like, why is it so hard, not as a black man, but just a man, to be a man? Don't know. Don't know.
That's a big question though.
Yeah.
That's a big question. And it's crazy because I'm a woman, of course. So like we don't know how y'all think. And a lot of times I feel like it's hard to read men, and you have
Yeah.
a lot of men that are not very comfortable or open enough with talking about their feelings, right?
Yeah.
So with that being said, tell us something that us women don't know when it comes to like men and how to support y'all. Like you said, listen, okay, a person can, I'm sitting here listening to you, right? But like, what else that should us women know about y'all men? And I'm speaking, I guess, general saying like men, but I'm specifically mean black men because I'm a black woman, you know, and I'm always trying to stand in the gap for my black men. So what else can we do besides just listening? Because I'm listening to you now. To me, that's not enough.
Yeah. Um. So just knowing who I am, I'm not going to tell you nothing. Unless you make that space safe and vulnerable. Now, like you said, yeah, listening, okay, that's cool, but what else?
Right.
You have to create a space for me that's safe enough to come and tell you, babe, I lost my job today. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I lost my job. Because in my mind, if I come to you and say I lost my job, straight criticism. Well, what you gonna do? Like, we can't be here and you ain't got no job. We can't do this. You ain't got no job. What about this? What about that? The bills, this is like, yo, I'm just telling you I lost my job. Comfort me, console me, tell me it's gonna be okay. Tell me fuck that job. They ain't need you. It's better out here for you. In the morning we getting up, we gonna go searching. After I get off, we gonna go looking online, seeing where we can find something that's better for you. If you gotta take this type of job just so we can get by for the moment, I help you out, I'll support you. You was paying this, I'm gonna put more into it. Like, tell me it's gonna be okay. Show me that it's gonna be okay, because I'm gonna get depressed and I'm gonna feel like I'm a failure as a man and I don't know what to do. So I'm not gonna come to you. I'm gonna tell the homies. I'm gonna act like I still got a job. I'm gonna get up every morning. I mean, it's been shown in the movies. Men that get fired, they will still get up and pretend to go to work because they don't want their wives, spouses, whoever's to know I got fired, because it's not a safe space. It's not comfortable enough to come to you, because like I said, it's gonna be like you got a loaded gun and you about to just set it off on me as soon as I tell you the smallest thing. As soon as I tell you I got rolled up at work today. Why? For what? How? What's next? How long you got till you get fired?
Mm-hmm.
Like, yo, I'm telling you, this is what it is. What I need from you, Antonio, speak life into me. Like, look, bro, stop fucking up at work. Get there on time. I got your lunch pack for you. Your clothes is ironed in the morning. Get up an extra 10 minutes early. If your alarm go off and you lay in this bed, I'm gonna push you out. Get up, go to work. Do what you need to do while you at work. I'm gonna check in on you. I'm gonna call up there and say, hey, how you doing today? What's going on? This is what I need, because it tells me I got a lot to lose if I lose whatever I'm about to lose. So be my fucking backbone.
Yeah.
Like, be that thing that holds me up and lets me know, shit, boy, when I come home, I'm coming home to this motherfucker that just make me want to go out here and hook the moon and bring it to her. That's what I need. I need that type of person that's gonna make me feel that type of way.
So I just pinned a comment, and shout out to my girl Susie and to everyone else that's joining us. Thank you for taking the time out your day to join us with this very learning but a good conversation about Black men and mental health. So she said we need to change the way we see gender roles. And I agree. I agree. Because like you said, like you disagree?
I wouldn't say change it. I would say make them non-existent. Gender roles are created by society.
Mm-hmm.
In my house, I know how to wash dishes. I know how to cook. I know how to do laundry. I know how to take the trash out. I know how to cut the grass. You know how to do all of that stuff too. There should be no such thing as gender roles. There
Yeah.
should be a household where we do what the fuck we need to do in our house, not what Susie and Brian doing or Johnisa and Craig doing over there, but
Mm-hmm.
what we do in our house to make our home a home.
Mm-hmm.
But we bring society roles into the home. You take the trash out, you clean the cars, you pay the car note, you pay the mortgage. That's your job, sir. You
Mm-hmm.
cook, you clean, you take care of the babies. That's your job, man. Who the fuck said that? Who said that's what it's supposed to be?
Right.
But that's what we see from back in the day. That's
Yeah.
what we were taught from our parents and grandparents. This is what you're supposed to do. Change it. Not change it, make it non-existent.
Yeah.
Do what you and your spouse gonna do in y'all house. Make y'all house a home.
Mm-hmm.
That's just how I feel about it.
No, no. Okay, so I am in a line with that, and she said that's what she meant. So that makes
Okay.
perfect that makes perfect sense. Is when you give all these different labels and roles, that's when it complicates things, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, that is what our grandparents and great grands and great grands did years ago. And I feel
Yeah.
like if you grow up in a structured environment like that, 9 times out of 10, you're going to continue to carry on those things. Like I said, my
Exactly.
mom worked in corrections. Okay. Her mindset was like corrections, 10, like 365 days a year, 24 hours a day. Our house was like a military walk-in mine. From the way she parented to probably in some of her other personal spaces with other people.
Yeah.
So you have to be able to disconnect from those environments or those teachings, different things, their upbringings, and be like, you know what? This is my house. I'm going to treat it like this. If my kid wants to eat candy or cake for breakfast, not
Yeah.
recommending that. But you see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it goes to like even the parenting. People are practicing gentle parenting. Who are the ones that's practicing gentle parenting? A lot of people who unfortunately were brought up and were beat for everything. And
Mm-hmm.
okay, well, you're beating me, but explain to me how I can do things the right way. You know, where's the
Yeah.
communication? Well, this is what my mom did to me. And then now I'm going on a tangent. You know, I'm going on a tangent because it's like, okay, I'm gonna whip your ass because you
Yeah.
did this wrong, but you're not telling me how I could do it right. But then you beat me because you're telling me you love me. So now I'm gonna grow up thinking that like you
Exactly.
abuse equals love.
Like that's just it's dumb. And
That's
it's
a
I
whole
mean
nother. That's a whole nother
exactly.
thing.
Like but I mean if you really think about it, you take what gender roles were created back in the day, real gender roles. I'm going to work and that's all I'm doing. I'm gonna pay the bills. That's all I'm doing.
Cause you're a man.
Yes, you gonna be in this house. You gonna cook. You gonna clean. You gonna make sure when I come home, I ain't gotta do nothing. But
Mm-hmm.
guess what? If I want to go to Martha's house, I better not hear a fucking word come out your mouth. If I want to go to Brittany's house, I better not hear you ask me where I'm going at 3 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the gender roles that were taught back in the day. That's what I learned from my grandmother and grandfather. That's what they did. Because grandpa paid the bills, he went to work. Grandma stayed home and took care of the kids. So if he want to step out, that's what he gonna do. Those were the real gender roles back in the day. But today, of course, we create our own.
Yeah. And I don't know if it was like a skit. I don't think it was a skit, but prime example, like I saw this video the other day on TikTok because, you know, I mean, you be in them TikTok streets too. I saw this video. This couple was out and they had like this lavish, they had a dinner. And the guy was like, he acted like he was in his phone, like, oh man, babe, I gotta tell you something, but I don't know how you want to react. So she's like, what's wrong? And he's like, I thought I was gonna have enough money to cover all of our food, but I don't.
I saw that.
And she sent
Yeah.
him the $200, and he was like, what are you doing? She's like, well, if you don't have money to cover the food, maybe, and this is just extra to get you by until whenever you do. And he was like, I was just talking about like $10 or something, but
yeah.
But the thing was, and then what did she say? She's like, I'm gonna always have your back and be your backbone. I don't want you to ever feel like you cannot disclose anything to.
Thank you.
So I get
that's the safe space. Yeah. That's the space that needs to be created for me to come to you. Because if I gotta tell you, babe, I need $10, it's like, yo, the fucking world about to end because you gonna look at me like $10. You ain't got 10. Like, first straight out, women, men, take it how you want it. This is how I feel. This was coming at me. If I take you out and I tell you, dang, I'm $10 short. Well, you shouldn't be eating out if you ain't got $10, brother. I'm just letting you know. I'm just $10 short. Oh, here you go. I got the tip too. Mm-hmm. But society has taught us. Let's say I take you on a date, right? We go out, we have a good time, we sit down.
Coffee shop.
Yeah. No, we going to a restaurant, right? We going to a restaurant.
Okay, so this is past first date. Okay.
Yeah, we at a restaurant, right? Boom, because at the coffee shop, you paying at the register. But we sit down, we have a good time. Boom, boom. Is this one check or two? Oh, it's one. Who they gonna put the tab in front of?
You.
Thank you. Why? Time after time after. Why are you giving it to me, ma'am, brother, sir, girl, whoever? Why did you hand it directly to me? Because society has taught us women don't take men out on dates. Men take women out on dates. So it's strange. If you took me out, or you say, Antonio, let's go get hibachi tonight. All right, bet, cool. I get there, we get there. It's going to be $48.29. I'm instantly pulling my wallet. I told you I was taking you out. Oh. Let me just pay anyway. No, I was taking is foreign language to us because we don't get asked out on dates. If we in a club, are you going to walk up to me and ask me for my number? No.
Who, me personally?
Yeah.
It depends.
Real shit. No. If I see you and you see me, like, boom, are you really gonna walk up to me and be like, yo, let me get your phone number? Like, you look mad good,
those
bro.
Those gonna be my exact words, but like.
But you're not gonna ask me for my number, right? Like,
I have asked men for their numbers before, yeah.
Okay, most women not gonna ask men for their phone number because it is so stupid. What I look like, it's like a woman proposing to a man. They have done it, but it's like a woman proposing to a man, right?
All that, but yeah.
I have seen it. But
I saw it. I've seen it too.
Yeah, like a woman proposing to a man. That's not happening. That's not realistic. That's not what's supposed to happen. Just like you can't ask me on a date. Just like you can't pay. Just like I can't come home from work and you say, lay down, let me rub your feet. Tell me about your day. Talk to me. What's going on in your head? It doesn't happen. And it doesn't, I'm not going to say it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen often. It just doesn't. And to look at it real, I'm just being honest. A lot of men, a lot of black men are going overseas to get women. Listen, you already know I'm going. You know where I'm going. A lot of men are going overseas to get wives because here in America, we can't get her. Some can, some can't, but a lot of men are traveling overseas to get wives. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna do that shit, but they do that because they feel like they can't get what they want from over here. Now, keep in mind look, I don't know what the comments say, but whatever. Take it like this. What race?
I know where
Wait a minute. What race is the most submissive? What race is the most submissive?
Did you have to pick the microphone?
I just want to make sure everybody can hear what I'm saying. What race is most submissive?
Oh, you want me to answer that?
Yes.
White people.
Yes.
Caucasians, whatever.
What ethnicity is the most submissive? It's two of them.
Besides
Muslims,
okay,
and Korean people are the most submissive women that you will ever find. Why? Because we, as black men, are foreign to them. And they all say they treat us like queens. Korean men don't treat Korean women the way that they need to be treated. Now, I can't speak for all of them. All I can speak on is what I see and what I hear. So, for the men that do travel overseas, they got this whole thing on TikTok.
Yes, the passport bros.
Passport guys, yeah. I mean, if that's what you want to do, by all means, I love black women. I love black women. And to understand me as a black man, I need to understand you as a black woman. A lot of black women aren't submissive. So that makes black men not want to deal with a black woman.
That word honestly makes me cringe.
It does. It does. But think about it like this, though. When you on TikTok, in the TikTok streets, right? What ethnicity are always going back and forth at? You don't do this, and you a bum ass nigga, or I'm sorry, you a bum ass dude, or you a broke bitch, and all that. Like, who does that?
It's us, but I also think that it's more to the whole submissive talk. Like
it is.
So me and my friends, we just during my Candid Conversation series, we did a whole dating and relationship series. We broke that down in the first episode, taking it back to just the Bible, like what Bible says it means to submit, and a lot of people still do practice that. And the overall thing was, when you're dating someone, just dating them, you're not supposed to submit, like, because
very true.
You know, however, also what was distinguished from the conversation, which gave me a different perspective when it comes to dating in general, is you will submit when it feels right and when it's the right. You're not going to submit to everyone. Okay, you didn't do it with this and that person didn't create that safe environment, that safe space for you. Maybe it wasn't right for you to give your all. You know what I'm saying? In that sense. So I do agree that when two people are very comfortable with one another, you're getting your cup poured into, and you're doing the same back to that person. You're filling those voids in. You're being that safe space. You're not going to think of submissive. Like, you're just going to do it. Like, things just naturally happen.
Yeah.
I feel like the connection is deeper, mentally, physically, and even you're spiritually aligned. You know.
Exactly. Definitely.
As I get older, because I'm getting older, I know now that you're not supposed to be that for everyone.
Not at all. That's that would be too many people digging in a cookie jar. That's too much. And I agree with you. Like, no one person, no woman, no man should be submissive when you're dating, because I can't give you my full self when I'm dating you, because for one, you could be dating me and 4 other dudes. I could be dating you and 5 other girls. You can't fully give that to that person until y'all get to the point where you're like, oh yeah, this it right here. This is the one. Like, I'm letting you know, you got my undivided 100% attention. Boom. You got my undivided 100% attention. Let's do this. But it's so difficult to do that today because nobody wants to. Oh no, I'm not about to. What is it? I'm not about to be stuck in a situation where I am stuck and I got to rely on you for everything, or you got to rely on me for everything. And it's like, well, we can't just figure this out together and talk about it.
Right. Okay. This is deep. This is a deep conversation. Like I feel like we just scratched the surface because there's tons of things that we could talk about when it comes to just mental health and
Yeah.
being a Black man. But as we wrap this up, what are some resources that you utilize to help you in your mental health?
Working out.
Which is good.
Yes. Working out. Get a therapist. Um,
Yes,
as a
y'all heard him. See,
therapist,
I'm
yeah,
glad you said that because I wear that therapy talk in the tail.
yes,
Get a
get
therapist.
one. You don't need a therapist, but you can benefit from one. I learned that for probably like doing my third show.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Guy came on. He was like, "We don't need therapists, but we can definitely benefit from them." So people look at therapy as, "Ain't nothing wrong with me." Never said that. But maybe you just need somebody to listen to you. So get a therapist. Um, find certain coping skills that you can use and utilize those. And honestly, I would just say take your time with life because it's short. As fast as these days go by, the shorter your life expectancy gets. Take your time with life, enjoy it, do things that you've never done, step out on the ledge, jump, because
Not literally.
nobody,
Not literally.
yes, not literally, yes, but take leaps of faith and do things that you put in a book 8 years ago that you said you was gonna do. Like do stuff, live life. Don't let life live you.
Mm-hmm. That's some good recommendations from a therapist. So I appreciate you for even being honest and vulnerable enough to again speak on your own personal journey and offer those same type of like words of encouragement to other people. Um I'm not a man, as we see. I'm not a Black man. I'm a Black woman. But let me just add my 2 cents real quick. Um, Another recommendation I will say is take care of your physical well-being. So this is outside the scope of going to the gym because I like to work out too. But like it is so important to get your nutrients in and like take vitamins and supplements. I'm not saying run to the doctor every 2.5 seconds,
True.
but watch what you're eating. Like work on having a well-maintained healthy diet because literally the saying, you feel like what you eat. If you eat like crap, 9 out of 10 you're gonna feel
Oh,
like crap.
that's
you
a
know
hundred. Yeah.
like I'm not recommending everyone run out here and juice 7 days a week like I do, or eat. Listen, we are 21 days in the new year and I have been on this plant-based diet thing and I slipped up one time,
Mm.
maybe 2 times. But out of 21 days,
Okay.
well, out of 21 days, it's been well. It's been very well. But honestly, I think that is why my mental health is the way that it is, and my physical well-being is getting back to where it needs to be. I mean, it's a lot that goes in that, but
Yeah.
my whole point, as I'm bringing it in, is to just pay more attention to how you're treating yourself. It's not always about finding other things to do or finding things to put in place to distract you from whatever's going on in your life, but
Yeah.
really aiming in on your physical well-being. And like because I do this for a living, one thing I hear people say all the time, oh, there's nothing wrong with me. Black men all day long on my
All day.
phones. It's nothing wrong with me. I'm physically capable of walking. I'm physically capable of doing this. I'm like, okay, can you just go get your yearly checkup? Because you go to your yearly checkup, they're going to do your whole round of blood work. And
Yeah.
as you get older, after seeing Chadwick Boseman, go get a colonoscopy. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Yeah.
because he was young.
Yes.
You know, and I'm not sure if that was genetics. I do know a lot of things run genetically. Genetics can be broken. That's just my thought, you know. However, just at least take that time to like check in on yourself physically to make sure, like, hey, okay, all my limbs are in place. Let me just go to the doctor, have my checkup,
Exactly.
make sure
Yep.
my heart rate, my labs and things, and then work on everything else that comes. Because I guarantee you, when you get your physical well-being in check, it would be so much more easier for you to keep your mental together, because you'll be able to think properly and make better decisions. And okay, if this is going on, let me sit with this for a minute, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And like my brother Antonio said, go to therapy. Like, I cannot stress that enough. And I get it's not for everybody, but sometimes it does take more than one and
Yeah.
two and three people to find that fit.
Yep. Definitely. And let's take this out. Just, there's no such thing as self-care when we get our hair done and nails done and do
I'm so
math.
glad you said that.
That's not self-care. It's self-maintenance. You are maintaining your body. I go to the gym. I'm self-maintaining myself. That is not self-care. Self-care is spending time with you, reading a book in the park. Nothing, no phone, no electronics. Like, just spending time with you, your higher power, God, whoever. That is self-care, not self-maintenance. I just want to throw that out. That's all that was.
Now, you know, because I had this I know my aunt was in the chat earlier. I had this conversation with her like some months ago, because I did this whole masterclass about self-love and self-care and all this stuff. And I, like, the instructor, she's a life coach, but that's one of the things that she was saying. Her belief, how, by all means, how my, like, me and like I said, me and my aunt had this conversation, and how she put it to me, like her example, when she gets her hair done, it's self-care to her, because it releases her from her everyday life and puts her in a different. I
Okay.
understand that.
I
So
get that.
for some people, those things that we consider like self-maintenance, getting your hair, your nails done,
Yeah.
even some people feel like massages and things are like self-maintenance.
Oh, that's self-care right
Yeah, like, you know,
there.
but you know, it's like they to each his own. They can
Yeah.
be. It may not be one for some us, but it may be
True.
something. It may be everything. Have you ever
Exactly.
got your hair washed at the hairdresser? You don't have no hair, but
Yeah.
like, I'm pretty sure like women and even men that have like hair will tell you, like, getting your scalp
Oh,
scratched
you
would
get
be the
your
most.
scalp massage?
Yes.
Ooh, girl, listen.
And it's
That right there?
therapeutic, you know.
Yes, Lord.
But to add on to the whole self-care talk, yes, being with yourself, focusing on your spiritual side,
Yeah.
meditating, you know, finding a spiritual practice, whether it's meditation, Reiki. There's, you know, I can go deeper, so deep with this conversation, but just take time for self is so
Yeah.
important, you know. And I thank you for bringing that up. Like, again, a lot of men don't even think about that. So this conversation has been so good. How you feel?
Awesome. Awesome.
So
Feel good?
this meant a lot to me, because I learned a lot as a Black woman. I learned how I can support other Black men more. You know, like I said, I want to take the initiative, not to just, I'm always listen to you, but what can I do more? What
Yeah.
more initiative can I take on a physical aspect to show that I'm listening, but also continue to show up for you in those spaces? And I think you offered a lot of very good information. Personal, you know, of course, but I'm pretty sure a lot of men feel the same way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're all being attacked. Let's keep it a buck. Black
Very
men and
true.
Black women. You turn on the internet, you go on
Yep.
these blogs.
That's one of us.
We're all being attacked. So I feel like we need to take the initiative to stand in a gap for each other. We need to be
Yep.
solid, because what happens is, if other races and other genders and just other people see us attacking each other, guess what they're going to do? Guess what they are doing? They're going to continue to attack us
Exactly.
as well.
Yep.
You know, so we have to lead by example and show up for each other how we want to be treated. And then, like I said, stand in the gaps for one another. Because
Yeah.
when we show people, like, okay, we're not taking no shit, we're going to stand next to our brothers. And there's a difference than standing in the gap for one another for what's right than enabling just fucked up behavior. Let's keep it real, you know?
Yeah, true.
So like we just have to do it. And I encourage everyone to continue to raise awareness around mental health, whether it's in the Black community, the Hispanic community, whatever community you may be, you know, reside in, raise awareness around it. Because I feel like once we all get mentally sound, we're able to show up not only for ourselves better, but for other people. At least and at least show that we care, you know?
True.
So this has been wonderful. You have any final words? And please do tell everyone where they can find your social medias. Of course, if they're just catching the replay, you'll be tagged in this. And I'm going to also post this on YouTube so people can check this out as well. But tell everyone where they can find you on social media and your podcast.
All right, good people. The Wright Mentality is my business page, personal page, fire_man24. It's where, you know, I do little goofies and all of that stuff too. But you can check me out there, Apple Podcast, Spotify, all that stuff. We're on TikTok as well. TikTok is chivalry isn't dead, because it's not, but that is my TikTok. And always check out, you know, website. You can get a t-shirt, the rightmentalitybrand.com. And like I said, we're working on the mentorship program, but yes, that's where you can find me.
Yeah, so please go find him, follow. Yeah, I think I've told you this before. Your podcast is wonderful. I enjoy your content, especially your Monday morning motivational messages. I used to laugh because you slide in the screen.
Yo,
I'm like, where the hell did he come from?
Yo, I got a whole set. Like when I first started, it's like you gotta progress some type of way, right? So I was like, let me slide in on these people. Let me tell them how I'm feeling today. So yeah, I like it. And it's like every time I get on TikTok, when I scroll through my stuff, I just see myself sliding in all of them. So yeah.
That is literally like one of the first videos I see when I wake up on Mondays.
Yeah.
I'm like, here we go. But they're always good messages, and you never know. Like it's like the one of them feelings like you feel like only I have these certain thoughts. You know what I'm saying? And then here you go with something. I guarantee you, if you are watching or listening, you can go through his content and find a message that fits you. And at the end of that message is going to be a positive solution. So my advice to you is to keep going. You know, that's my favorite thing to say. But I know it sounds like kind of cliche, but no, keep going. You have something to live for. You are literally walking and continue to fulfill your purpose, not only with helping people, but you're also helping that inner child that did not get that help and support. So definitely keep going, because baby girl is watching.
Yes, definitely.
She's watching. And again, I thank you for showing up and being vulnerable enough and trusting me and everyone else that's going to come and listen and see your story. And you know where it's at. So thank you to everyone that has took time to watch us. This was a little long, but it was definitely well needed. And y'all know where to find me, Chronicles of a Virgo podcast. Check out my podcast on all of your major podcast platforms. See, there go my aunt right there. Hey, girl. And also on YouTube now. Your girl is on YouTube. I am showing face a little bit. Baby steps, right?
Yay.
Chronicles of a Virgo podcast on YouTube and all of your social medias. Again, come tap in with me, but definitely tap in with this brother right here, because he has some incredible content for y'all and always a positive message. Until next time, as he says, good people, we out.